Hold on tight to me, and here, a good luck charm, don't lose it. Shinozaki, don't go. I'm sorry, you don't need to worry about me anymore. You should live the life of a peasant, it's only fitting. Stop. Nirvana, I summon the dead. Why, hello there, welcome back to the channel. I'm Phil, and as you can see, we are returning to Blood Drive Corpse Party, and we're heading to Chapter 1. Let's go, baby. Oh, and keep in mind, I will be narrating, so, without further ado, a day had passed since the events of Shimojaku South Apartments. This was to be a significant turning point for me, and Mochida might have been a part of it from the start, except for the fate seemed to have other plans for him. Miss Kon, I have something pressing I need to get to, so if you'll excuse me. No, you sit back down, Satoshi. Your score on the algebra quiz yesterday was rather embarrassing, don't you think? Like an owner training a puppy, Kwan gave me a strong glare and held up her index finger in reprimand. For the next hour, I'm going to give you a personal lecture, and you're going to listen. And then the next quiz will be a snap to pass. But aren't you an English teacher? Isn't algebra a little outside your field of expertise? Anything's possible if you put your mind to it. She seemed a little taken aback by that remark, puffing up her cheeks like a chickmunk in protest. But Miss Kwan is startling how alike she and Miss Yui are. I'm sorry. Looking both bemused and guilty, Mochida tried to get up and leave his seat in one swift motion, but he was quickly and easily caught lifted up and forcefully sat back down. Miss Kwan was smiling. She was actually... I missed it. Who or what am I dealing with here? Miss Kwan was the only slightest bit taller than Mochida. Did this make her taller than the average? But her arms were small and frail. There seemed to be no way she could possibly have lifted someone of his build. This whole situation was rather bewildering for him, and he made no attempt to hide his confusion. Now, let's begin, shall we? Yes, ma'am. He had no other option. Apparently, he was going to be studying algebra for the next hour, come hell or high water. Let's get that out of there. Meanwhile, at the local cafe near the school, Kishinuma and I were sitting down to speak with Aiko Niwa, the informant who had led my friends to me the previous night. Are you alright? Does your stomach hurt? I responded with a dismissive gesture while continuing to rub my abdomen with my other hand. Ever since the previous night, I'd had this consistent unbearable urge to pee. What the hell was wrong with me? I mean, I know I got really scared and I hyperventilated, but can that affect my body like this? Did it change something in me? My bladder feels like it's fit to burst. So, where shall we begin? Aiko tilted her head and stared at me, looking up and down, seemingly judging my every mannerism, my every movement. It was making me feel really self-conscious. I covered my abdomen with both hands, as if I was guarding it from her gaze. Thank you very much for your help yesterday. Think nothing of it. I only regret that your friends couldn't get to you sooner. Kisaragi Academy is quite large, so it took some time to track down Kishinuma and the others. Kishinuma and I stared at one another, still unsure how to feel about this strange new addition to our entourage. Ayume, Kishinuma, you two are survivors from the Heavenly Host Elementary, are you? Are you not? We pledged never to discuss Heavenly Host with anyone else, which we'd always assumed would be an easy promise to keep, but now casually and out of the blue, here we were. Why? How did you know about that? Well, you've been touched by the ever after. When people come into contact with the beyond, the color of their auras changes to something otherworldly, something I can see. Both Kishinuma and I were speechless. I just sat there staring at my palm, subconsciously trying to see my aura. I guess Aiko was smiling at us triumphantly. You said you were an intelligence agent, wasn't it? For the supernatural? And you're a friend of Nao's, right? That's correct. I'm the one who tipped her off about Heavenly Host Elementary, in fact. The true source of the deaths and the subsequent erasures that had turned out our lives into a living nightmare was the Chico Ever After ritual posted on Naho's occult blog. I've been a fan of Naho's for quite some time, so when I saw that, I knew I had to try it out with my friends from Class 2-9. And as a result, half of those friends are now gone. I suppose you're aware that Naho was involved in supernatural investigations on behalf of the one Mr. Kibiki, no? I am, and now she hasn't been seen since posting information on Chico Ever After. Well, my business is of a similar nature. I gather data from spiritual hotspots and other supernatural locales, and sell that data to my clients for a fair profit. Not always money, mind you. Sometimes I'll do my dirty work in exchange for a particular spirit item that perks my interest. It all depends on whom I'm dealing with. It's entirely give and take. They want my information, I want their cash or their artifacts. Physically, Eiko was a very attractive young lady, but personality-wise, the jury was still out. Her words were calculated and emotionless, her true intentions a mystery. One could call me an information dealer, but I prefer intelligence agent, and Naho was a good customer. My info on Heavenly Host proved to be her last purchase, however. At the time, Naho was single-mindedly excited about Mr. Kabiki's work. She believed he could qualify for some award with the information I found for her. Hey, could you tell me, was Naho there in that other world you found yourselves trapped in? Naho died, together with Mr. Kibiki. I looked down as I answered. Despite everything she'd done, the memory of Naho's passing was still painful for me. She'd become one of Heavenly Host's lost souls and gone completely berserk. In the end, I was the one who finished her off. I see. I assumed as much. Aiko seemed completely unaffected by this revelation. Her tone remained even and her expression cold and distant. Honestly, I had had about enough of this by this point. She was so devoid of empathy, it was almost offensive. I was genuinely starting to get pissed off. And you're okay with that? I do feel sorry for her, don't get me wrong, but I had a strong feeling things would end this way. There's no point in lamenting in that, for which I was fully prepared. Ishino continued to stare intently at Aiko with his own brand of cold, emotionless eyes. He was oddly quiet, though his anger was palpable. I clenched my fist. What about this girl? I believe she performed the ritual alongside Naho. Did you see her in there as well? Aiko showed us a photo of a girl named Saya Aoi. No, I can't say that I've ever met her. I see. Aiko's expression was so unfaltering, you could carve it in stone. I couldn't take it anymore, I had to say something. If you're calling Naho your customer, I don't think you can really say that you were her friend. My voice was breaking with rage, but even if I hadn't been the case, my face must have read like a book. This icy bitch may have had only one expression, but I sure didn't. Oh my, do you have something against that word? When I deal with my customers, I give them a guarantee of the utmost quality and dedicate myself to their satisfaction. It's an unbreakable bond of trust, like one would have for a partner, and that's not always something you can say about friendship now, is it? I had no idea what to say. It seemed like Aiko was used to this sort of thing. Her response felt carefully rehearsed, like a sales pitch. Finally, Kishinoma broke his silence. Hey, I do want to thank you for helping us save Shinozaki yesterday, really, but spreading dangerous information just to pay the bills? How can you sleep at night? Information is just that, information. It's harmless on its own. There's no good nor bad. It's like a tool. It's up to the recipient how to use it. Anything can be harmful in the wrong hands, after all. Why, that cup over there could be used to kill a man just as easily as a knife. The hell it could? That's bullshit and you know it. Ayumi, do you agree? Aiko, I'm sorry, but I hate the way you think. I feel it's irresponsible. Her expression remained calm and collected overall, but her eyes blinked several times in rapid succession. It was the first outward sign of emotion we'd seen from her. Well now, it seems I've come to be regarded as something of a villain here. I can't say this is new or unexpected, but it never ceases to be disheartening. Aiko quickly shrugged off her sudden outburst and was back to her usual icy self. It doesn't matter now anyway, we destroyed Heavenly Host, it's gone. An awkward tension filled the room, or at least our table. Let's get down to business then. There's a reason I sought you out, something I wanted to discuss with you. Aiko produced a thick, hardbound file folder from the light blue bag she brought with her. She opened it to reveal several documents of questionable nature. Among them were what looked to be a family tree, as well as numerous pages featuring black magic symbology or images that look like tree branches. Black magic spell charts? And is that the Shinozaki family tree? You may find what I'm about to tell you a bit shocking. Aiko was looking directly into my eyes now. Her gaze was fixed, intense, and unblinking. What Kishinuma said a moment ago is incorrect. Huh? What do you mean? Heavenly Host Elementary has not been destroyed. It still exists even now. Take a look at this. Oh, damn. Aiko placed a black and white photo on the table. It wasn't the clearest picture, but there was no doubt that the location depicted was Heavenly Host Elementary. In the picture, a small girl could be seen standing in one too familiar hallways holding a hatchet in her right hand. It's Heavenly Host! Where did this come from? We have confirmation, and it's a photograph I've taken. I didn't have the power to produce a clearer image, but this is the current state within Heavenly Host. I don't understand. What am I looking at? I can't even describe what was going through my head at that moment. I felt like I was about to burst. Aiko, however, remained calm as ever while recounting her story. Let's start at the beginning. First, the red box from yesterday. After some time, I was able to open it, and I found these spirit items contained within. The box I'd found in Makina's futon. Inside it were apparently two stones resembling magatama, comma-shaped ceremonial objects from Japanese antiquity. Also included in the box were several more roughly hewn stones, as well as a lining along the edges consisting of crumpled pieces of thin white paper. Unfortunately, most of the box's contents were broken or damaged. This pair, however, was still fully intact. It looked almost like a demented version of yin and yang symbols, puzzle pieces that were clearly built to be slotted together. Aiko now held one stone in each hand and was motioning them toward one another as if to drive that point home. Spirit items are, in the simplest terms, items which have been infused with the thoughts and feelings of the dead. Those who bear such objects will be visited by the spirits within them, or at the very least, be forever privy to their memories and earthly laments. It's a wonderful thing. I may not quite look the part, but I'm actually quite an avid collector of spirit items. Kishinuma and I briefly locked eyes again. We shared the same look of bewilderment. Aiko's personality was much more twisted than either of us could have initially perceived it to be. I tried to get a fix on this little girl's thoughts, and in doing so, I heard a vengeful cry and saw an image of a girl with braided hair in an abandoned school building. My curiosity having been piqued, I took this camera out. At this, she produced an old instant camera and placed it on the table in front of us. And I tried to take a picture of the image in my mind. The result is that shot. This particular item, spirit item, allows me to produce images from the exact moment in time when the picture is taken. The past and future alike are beyond its reach. I examined the photograph in greater detail, and a chill ran down my spine. There was absolutely no denying that it depicted. No. I was actually shaking. Without Sachiko Shinozaki, and the school should have collapsed. It should have ceased to exist as soon as we escaped. I believe the collapse was halted, perhaps right on the brink, even maybe because of the person whom that voice I heard belongs. Aiko motioned toward the photo in my hand. It could even be the girl in that picture. I wonder who she is. The answer was beginning to dawn on me. A sudden cold sensation exploded through my body and I shuddered, as if trying to shake off the encroaching realization. God damn, you really think that hellhole's still around? Kishinuma leaned forward and the conversation was clearly beginning to engage him a lot more than it had been. Heavenly Host Elementary, or rather, the dimensional space that took on the form of Heavenly Host Elementary, fascinated me from the moment I introduced it to Naho. I began to research it independently, and I learned that its true identity is, well, something like a new nirvana, another world or hereafter, an otherworldly plane of death. Though ordinarily one tends to think of there being only this world and the next, a new nirvana. That's correct. You know about Yoshi Shinozaki, do you not? Yeah. And of her clinic, the Shinozaki estate wherein the grimoire known as the Book of Shadows was located. Yeah? Why? How could she know about that? A million thoughts, a million questions were running through my head. I was speechless. All I could do was just sit there and hear her out. It was like a muffled scream or a moan of agony. The sound you make when you want to make a sound, but you're barely able to. That one was a little bit more forceful, accompanied by a thrashing. It caused the nearby table light to fall over and roll on the ground. Please, dear, come now. You need to stay calm. This was Yoshi Shinazaki's clinic, and Yoshi herself was on top of her husband, holding him down with both of her hands. She continued her Shinto purification chant to prevent Senji from biting off his own tongue. He had been gagged with a towel. Needless to say, he wasn't looking particularly well. Not far from where this was occurring, Sachiko stood against trembling as she watched the proceedings with hesitant sidelong glances. Izanagi no Kami, who visits the underworld and beholds our foul spirits, guide us to the cleansing waters to the Tachibana on the Odo Agibara shores of the land of Shukisha. That's butchered. Seiji still collapsed on the floor and was clearly suffering. His body was bent in the most unnatural shape, and he was feverishly clawing at his neck. I beseech thee in the name of the divine virtues of the gods gathered here to wash away the sins we've committed and the impurities that dwell within our minds and bodies. Sachiko's father screamed through his gag, foaming beginning to froth out from the edges. He was going into cyanosis. Ghostly images of Shinozaki women from ages past smiled down upon the event from the ceiling, laughing and mocking the suffering. Worse still, some of the women had traditionally blackened teeth, giving their smiles an unintentionally sinister edge. The atmosphere within the room was heavy, as if the spirits occupied every empty corner, dancing and flitting freely and joyously. Seiji's body sharply bent and began convulsing. Come into this world, multi-genus Okami of Heredo. Dear, stay with me, dear. Mitami, I beg of you, please do not take him. Her great-grandmother Shira, the head of the Shinozaki family, was among the black-teeth women, laughing joyously at Seiji's suffering. Daddy! Bam. His voice began to weaken and his convulsions began to lose strength. Finally, the last spark of life left his body. His eyes rolled back into his head, and all movement ceased. Daddy, why aren't you breathing? Sachiko looked up, eyes glazed over with tears. Yoshi, too, was stricken with grief and despair. This is what it means to be a Shinozaki, to be part of the cursed bloodline. All men who marry in are guaranteed to die quickly. Not even Yoshi could circumvent that fate. So she turned to the forbidden book, an item she and her family had been protecting for generations from those who might misuse it. The Grimoire, the Book of Shadows. To lose a loved one was a fate she feared more than anything else, so she tried to offset it through black magic. It was an act of truly absurd foolishness. She must have cared for him so deeply. She would have literally done anything to see him again, no matter the cost of her own immortal soul. Aiko stared deeply into my eyes, seemingly fishing for a reaction to her tale. But then what happened next was almost beyond belief. I continued listening, unknowingly stroking the wound on my thigh as unpleasant memories of my own foolishness run in with black magic resurfaced. The Shinozaki blood that flowed through Yoshi's veins was more powerful than anyone could have known. Its energy spawned something much different than what Yoshi intended, by which of course I mean... I instantly knew what she was gonna say. From the book she created, the new Nirvana. There, one could coexist with the dead for all eternity. It was a new dimension cut from the netherworld itself, forcibly born unto the world of the living. Yoshi must have lost half her sanity right there. She tried to leave her only child, Sachiko, in the real world while living with her husband's soul in the new Nirvana. The land of corpses. However, this Nirvana had a mind of its own. Yoshi couldn't possibly control it, Shinozaki or no. I knew that all too well. Just like Yoshi, I'd experienced my own tragic failure with black magic at the Shinozaki clinic. Black magic has its own blowback of sorts. Her husband's soul was split apart and scattered in all directions, and Yoshi's life too was on the verge of being snuffed out. She knew she'd made a mistake, she deeply regretted it, and as she took what she could have only assumed to be her last dying breath, her sole daughter Sachiko, in possession of a nearly limitless spiritual potential, absorbed the entirety of this new Nirvana into her body. You go. The poor girl collapsed to the floor, violently thrashing about as the weight of the entire dimension crushed from the inside. This action actually saved her mother's life, certainly, but death would have surely been preferable. Picking herself up, Yoshi rushed her to the daughter's side in tears. Sachiko, why? Mommy, don't die, Mommy. Both parent and child were bawling, pain mixing with relief, mixing with pain again. The little girl buried her face into Yoshi's bosom and just cried and cried. Yoshi grasped her tightly in both arms. Tears were streaming down her face uncontrollably. By this point, Sachiko's body had begun producing a dark blue aura. I'm sorry, Sachi. I'm so sorry. Mommy was wrong. Mommy has you, so from now on, Mommy will never leave you. She'll never even think of leaving you again. Oh, so that explains the blue aura. Okay. As you know, Sachiko is a direct descendant of the Shinozaki line, a thoroughbred. This means her power is greater than Yoshi's. It had to be, of course, for her to house the entire dimension within her body. Aiko took a big noisy sip from her coffee mug. At the time, she must have been the strongest practitioner of dark arts in the world, little girl or no. Yet despite that, she wound up dying. That's right, the same day Yoshi fell and died, Sachiko disappeared. That was 50 years ago now. They were both killed by the principal, just as I suspected. The principal's heinous actions are to blame then for resurrecting the new Nirvana within Sachiko and creating the closed spaces we know as Heavenly Host Elementary. It's probably because the school was the site of Sachiko's violent demise that her Nirvana took on its form. Yet, even then, with Sachiko reborn as a spirit in the realm, she was still all-powerful, seemingly continuing to exert complete control over it. I guess that's why she was able to manifest so many different horrible things in there. This was all starting to make a sick sort of sense. The pieces were falling into place and painting an absolutely awful picture. I shuddered to myself as I considered it. When you escaped, you removed Sachiko from the equation, but the Nirvana remained, and it's going berserk once more. It should have just disappeared. This world would be better off without it. This entire conversation was a roller coaster of emotions for me. At this point, I was just angry at everyone involved in this whole ordeal, myself included. Now then, if I may, I'd like to discuss something a bit outlandish with you. Okay. Would you like to see your dead friends again? That certainly got our attention. We both perked our heads up immediately. Spirits that have died in the Nirvana are said to roam its grounds trapped and unable to find rest. As such, your friends' souls may still exist on that plane. There are actually a number of useful magics listed in the Book of Shadows. Aside from the spell Yoshi used to create the new Nirvana, there's also a spell of revival. Nakashima and I knew about that one all too well. Forcefully returning alive to this plane is, of course, dreadfully taboo, and it's considered an affront to the will of God by virtually all religious organizations. Huh? Ishinu seemed a bit more confused than he probably should have been, though I suspected the look on my face may have had something to do with that. I performed that spell, the very one Aiko was describing. It took hours, failed miserably, and killed my sister. All at once, the guilt returned. I lowered my head solemnly. Aiko grinned at me, and I had this sinking suspicion it was because somehow she knew what I was thinking, though I couldn't be sure, and I certainly didn't know how she would. Still, who cares about bullshit like that, right? You can still be blasphemous, you can break every commandment, bring it on. You'll do whatever it takes to resurrect your dead friends, no? All you have to do is find that book and cast a spell once more within Heavenly Host Elementary. Your chances of success would be much, much higher there, don't you think? Hold on. Do you have any idea what you're saying? What happens if things get even worse? I didn't exactly mean to interrupt Kishinuma, but quite honestly, I didn't even realize he was talking. I was too focused on what Aiko had just said. You know about it, don't you? Our failed attempt at Yoshi's place, me and Nakashima. Aiko tilted her head at me. That same wry smile creeping across her face. She'd gone from cold and emotionless to knowing and expressive in a mere instant. I don't think we really believed that was happening to us. It was like a dream. What we saw was impossible. What we experienced was impossible. I thought I was going insane. It shouldn't have been possible. We shouldn't have done it. I just wanted to put all this behind me. But it was real. Aiko pointed to the scar on my neck, then went one step further and lightly brushed it with her hand. I could feel that touch deep within my soul. I suddenly found myself swallowing my next breath, practically choking on thin air. See, you came in contact with something ordinary people could never imagine. You really think you can just turn tail and run from that now? I looked down again, trying my best to avoid Aiko's gaze. Do you really think that I can do it? When did I start crying? I raised my head again, intent on looking deep into Aiko's eyes and as she answered my question, but she looked so blurry through my tears. I could tell, though, that she was smiling at me. It was that same expression, her new standard. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Can you be more specific? Can I really? Yes, what is it? I want to hear you say it. What exactly is it that you wish to accomplish? Can I bring everybody back? Nicely done. Aiko patted my head as one might a dog after a successfully performed trick. What the grimoire produces are miracles spawned from the wisdom of witches, and these miracles hold the power to bend fate. Even if that fate is set in stone, so to speak. You are a descendant of the House of Shinozaki, a family of immensely powerful practitioners of magic, and since Hino is no longer with us, this is something only you can do. My confidence was being bolstered by the minute, though in retrospect that was likely Aiko's aim. Nonetheless, if there was still something I could do for my friends... But wait, I don't know where the Book of Shadows is anymore. Plus, you're no longer able to travel to Heavenly Host by way of the Sachiko Ever After ritual. Now that Sachiko's gone, correct? Yeah, that's right. That's what Yuki said, anyway. Or Yuki Kano, a girl from the school. Aiko once again placed the bluish-white magenta stones from either box in either hand, this time fitting them together. Though not quite the way they were supposed to interlock. That's where these come in. What are they? They house an exceptional amount of spiritual energy, as one would expect given that they're spirit items from the Shinozaki line. The voice I heard told me about them. They're called Ever After Stones. Ever After Stones? I leaned forward despite myself. The name sent a shiver down my spine, but now that I heard it, I had to know more. These two are one. Fit them together like a puzzle pieces and chant Nirvana. I summon the dead, and all who are in direct or indirect contact with them will be spirited away. We both flinched at her chant, but Aiko smiled. She must have intentionally oriented the stones the wrong way so the charm wouldn't be active. It's the same when you return. She tossed a stone she'd been holding in her right hand into her left, where they clacked together with the other. Strange, isn't it? This girl taught me the technique herself. Aiko gazed longingly at the stones. She was clearly utterly enamored by them. She seemed as if they were key factors in unleashing her newfound emotional expressiveness. But my focus was elsewhere. Without a doubt, the items Aiko now held in her hand were extraordinarily dangerous, possibly the most dangerous horrific objects in the entire world. However, while Aiko was ogling them with her left hand, her right was feeling around for something in her breast pocket. She slowly removed it, producing an old black and white photograph. When she had taken that, it was the same photograph I had seen in Makina Shinazaki's house the previous night. It depicted a young Yoshi alongside her mother and Makina. When Yoshi was in her teens, she adored her Aunt Makina and would often go over to her place for a visit. The Shinozaki family were world famous for their spiritual abilities, and this was when it all started. The surviving elder of the Yagura society felt it was too dangerous to leave these items with the Martubas, so he came here intending to steal the Book of Shadows away from them. But he felt it would be even more dangerous for the book and stones to remain together, so while he gave the book to Yoshi for safekeeping, he gave the stones to Makina. Yagura Society, Mastubas. I never heard these tomes before at all. And then there was that damn Book of Shadows again. Why did that have to keep coming up? You removed Shichiko Shinozaki from that school, and in doing so, you created a perfect storm of opportunity. Two-way travel to and from that dimension is now possible. It's no longer one-way road. A new spiritual hotspot. Something not of this world has been born. She thrust the Ever After stones toward me triumphantly and continued to make her pitch, growing more excited by the second. I was legitimately speechless. What could I say? Don't you see? That place is a gold mine. People can no longer claim the world of spirits is fake or that spiritual investigators like myself are lying. It's all different now. Occult research can be legitimized. I'm even considering bringing people to that cursed dimension on tour if I can, to make a little extra cash. Oh, Ishino and I both reacted to this preposterous suggestion with a start. She couldn't possibly be serious, could she? I've deleted the proxy doll data from Nao's blog, so no one will be able to jump it that way anymore. Only I possess the means to enter the place now. What could she possibly have been thinking? I wanted to stop her at once. I wanted to take those stones and break them right there, on the spot, before anyone else got hurt. But when I begin conducting these tours, however, I want to make customer safety my top priority. And you seek friend spirits, do you not? Well, reinvestigating that dimension could help you reach that goal. Our destinations are the same, Ayumi. Aiko leaned in as she spoke. Her breath, scented with the sugary sweetness of the extravagant desserts we had been eating, tickled my nose. So what do you say? Let's go back to Heavenly Coast Elementary together one more time, shall we? I really wanted to conduct tours using the paper dolls, but missed my chance. Now, though, I have these lovely stones. I feel that this must be fate and I can make a business of it. Aiko seemed like she was on top of the world, but that just made me all more disgusted with her. So, how about it? On the other hand, she was offering me a chance to save our lost friends, and however remote that chance may have been, it stacked the odds frustratingly in her favor. I still couldn't just say yes, but I also couldn't say no. Honestly, I resented Aiko for putting me in such a position. I glared at her for a moment before I said anything. I can't answer that right now. Give me some time to think it over. I'd almost forgotten Kishinuma was there. Sudden waves of guilt washed over me. He had an absolutely incredulous look on his face. I couldn't bear to see it, so I looked away. We don't know where the Book of Shadow is anyway. Plus, we don't know how those stones can actually do what they say they can. There's no way you could let her retry it, right? Aiko smiled. He oriented the two stones so they'd form the perfect yin-yang symbol, then slotted them together once again. Immediately, the stones began glowing with the bluish-white hue, and a stream of energy started to form around her. You gotta be kidding me. Aiko continued smiling and looking directly into my eyes. No need to decide now. Think it over. Yes, it's true the full range of these stones' power has yet to be tested, so their true danger is as of yet undetermined. She slowly separated the two stones as she said this, and the energy surrounding her dissipated. But they're from the home of Kina Shinozaki, a prominent branch of the Shinozaki tree. Their authenticity and the credibility of my intelligence is hard to dispute. Hell of a thing. Can I see them? Kishinuma didn't wait for an answer. He grabbed the Ever After stone from Aiko's hands and began examining them carefully. Hard to believe this is what was in that box. You weren't planning on keeping these stones all to yourself, were you? Aiko seemed taken aback by the question. Way to go, Kishinuma. You managed to catch her off guard. Half the credit for finding them is due to Shinozaki risking her skin, after all. Aiko seemed to ponder these words for a moment. Well, let's make sure neither of us can go by ourselves. We'll each keep one of those 2 stones. Alright, give me one, Kishinuma. Sure thing. Kishinuma plopped one of the stones in my hand and then slipped the other back into the drawstring pouch of Aiko brought him in and closed it up. There. He then casually handed the pouch back to the rightful owner. Feel free to give me a call anytime you'd like. And don't worry, I'll even help you find the book's shadows, free of charge. Aiko flashed us with the biggest, most gregarious smile I think I'd ever seen. And when we do find it, you will go with me, won't you, Ayumi? I closed my eyes and gave something like a half-hearted half nod, lowering my head without raising it again. It was interpreted as a yes, but I'm not sure I meant it that way. Good. That being the case, it's on me today. Aiko got up and grabbed the check. No, I'll pay for mine. I took out my wallet. I had no desire to owe this person anything. Aiko just smiled. Such it is then. Oh yes, I almost forgot. I'd like you to have this. Aiko handed me her thoughtograph to me. Now, it's not gonna bite you, and I'm not asking for any money for it, so please just take it with my blessing. I despise her. Me too. Suzimoto, Shinohara, Moshiki, and Miss Yui, as soon as I'm done with those 4, I'm breaking the stone. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Better make sure you break the other one though too while you're at it. As if he'd been waiting for this cue, Kishinuma pulled out the other stone from his pocket. Oh snap. Kishinuma? She doesn't know what it's like in that school. I mean, she was actually getting excited about going there, so I helped myself when she wasn't looking. Kishinuma, that's amazing. You're terrible. Hey, serious business call for serious action. Though, Shinozaki, I don't know how to say this exactly, but about the whole resurrection thing, the whole situation with Suzimoto and the others should probably just be left alone, don't you think? You've gone through so much already and have come really close to dying, and I don't think any of them, not Suzimoto, not Mitsui, Shinohara, Mashigi, would want that. But that might not be true. Damn it, Shinozaki, just stop. You know how much Satoshi and Nakashima have been worried about you? I'm sorry. But Kishinuma, please, you have to understand. I just need a little more. I need you to hear me for just a little bit longer, okay? Please just let me do this. Fine, but listen. You're not doing it alone. I'm going to keep one of the stones. Okay. It'll be alright, you know. I turned my gaze up to me, Kishinuma. My eyes must have looked like saucers, windows into my mind full of worries, ideas, and fears spurred by this unexpected turn of events. If anything happens, don't hesitate to call me, okay? I'm here for you, and I don't want you to blindly rush into dangerous situations like you did yesterday. I may not be able to offer much, but I am confident I can at least protect you from harm. Kishinuma patted me on the head reassuringly as he said this, and I had no idea how to react. I felt safe, but also a little annoyed, much like a younger sister being stimulated, simultaneously comforted and scolded by her big brother. All I could say in response was, okay. I could feel my eyes still bulging from my head, open as far as my eyelids would allow. I imagined how I must have appeared to Kishinuma, and I was momentarily embarrassed. Come on now, let's get you home. Okay. Alright, where are we headed? Must have been emptied out recently, as it's completely clean inside and smells only of plastic bags. Could have sworn I just saw something moving under the trash can. Hey, how you doing? Do you want to play with my stones? He's late. Seriously, what was he thinking? That boy needs a boot to the head, I swear. Where are we going, buddy? I don't know where we're going. I don't want to waste all my stamina, because I got stamina in this. Where are we going? I remember running up these stairs with Maya Suzimoto at the time. It never dawned on me that legitimately those memories could be called into question. Why would it? When you graduate, transfer, or get married, you're always still able to see one another as long as you're both alive. But in this reality, it's as if Suzimoto never existed. Alright. I guess we'll go check what's on the other side. Am I supposed to talk to him again? I don't know. This is definitely a lot different than the other one. Is this my house? Is the owner of this house happy? Obviously, they're experiencing the daily joys and hardships of life like everyone else, but do they really understand what it all means? That was deep. That was real deep, actually. Sign on the door reads closed for the day, though this building has actually been vacant for years. This used to be a photo studio, I think. There's a human arm poking out through the hole of the garbage bags. What? Though on closer inspection, it's from a mannequin. That... Oh, okay. You don't gotta play the sound again, bro. Is there anything back here? No? Okay. Ready to head home? I am. Come on then, let's go. I'm home. Welcome back. News of yet another bizarre death has just come in. This time, Mr. Okabe, who was discovered within the city at this location having suffered a broken spine. Tokyo map was displayed on the television screen marked with 2 red dots. The marquee on the bottom provided the headline, "Sudden violent deaths remain unexplained." Dinner will still be a while yet. Maybe you should take a bath first. Okay. Without thinking, I left my socks. I just removed them from my feet on the living room floor and began walking toward the bathroom. Hey, socks! My bad. This was a bad habit of mine, so ingrained within me that it had almost become a ritual. Mom did well to have caught it so quickly. I grabbed my socks and I left the room. Can I really bring them all back? If I use the Book of Shadows inside Heavenly Host this time, it just might work. I set my bag down in my room quickly and automatically grabbed my sweatpants and spats and made a beeline for the bathroom. What are spats? When I got there, I threw my socks in the hamper with purpose and then began peeling off my school uniform. As I observed myself in the mirror, I began to murmur, "Blowback, if I'm not careful, the same thing could happen again." Those burn marks on my neck and arms were eternal reminders of what had been through at the Shinozaki estate. I could clearly remember the agony I went through as they formed. I remember watching them sear into my flesh out of thin air, blood spurting from them as if they had been knifed. I only survived because Hino sacrificed herself in my place. I have to do it. I tried to force self-confidence into my expression. When it wouldn't come, I slapped my cheeks hard. It was in me somewhere. I just needed to be yanked out into the open. You have to do your best, damn it. She farted. I lowered my head into the water ever so slightly, blowing bubbles into the water with my mouse. The pros and cons of returning to Heavenly Host were racing through my head. This is the power to challenge fate itself, to rewrite it, and I am Shinozaki, so this is something only I can do. I have to show everyone that I can bring them back. If only I knew where to find the Book of Shadows. I need to get my hands on it again. You're seriously gonna look for the Book of Shadows? Your lack of sense never ceases to amaze me. This was just about the last thing I expected. I couldn't help but scream. It was the same boy who found his way into my room last time, wearing the exact same clothes. He spoke to me without once turning his head to look in my direction. Oh, you know about Nirvana now. You finally pieced it all together and realized what you have to do. He smiled, still facing away from me. It was a confident yet sinister grin. Why and how? Hiding one's presence is about as basic a spell as they come. There's no need for the blown gasket. As for why I'm here is to remind you of who you are and what you have to do. Your bloodline carries with it a certain responsibility, after all. Pervert, stalker, molester, all calling the cops. My face had been so red as fire by this point. Shut the fuck up, Titless. Who are you calling a pervert when you get the body of a grade schooler? Ain't nobody gonna want to see a washboard like that. What? My head felt like it housed all the blood from my entire body. I imagined myself white as a sheet below my neck and flashing red above it, on the verge of megaton explosion. Just listen up. The Book of Shadows is back in the Nirvana. It happened when you messed up at the Shinozaki estate. Here, he handed me the autograph from Aiko. Well, when did you? What are you trying to pull? Just look at it, you blind bitch. Here, right the fuck here. I grabbed the photograph from his hands as aggressively as I could muster, then backed away slightly, putting as much distance between him and I as humanly possible. It was definitely the same picture of the little girl holding a hatchet that Aiko had shown us earlier, but I now noticed that she was holding something in her other hand too. It was a hardbound book around the size of the typical desk dictionary, and I thought I could barely make it out. There was a certain aura to it that looked awful lot like a face. God, it is. If you want to use its power, you gotta go back to the Nirvana, or should I say back to Heavenly Hosts. Jump over there and get the book, and then maybe, just maybe, you can make your wish come true. He snuck out of his hand and pointed directly to my face, then slowly lowered it down toward my abdomen. He was now implicating pointing my lower body, but as soon as I started to get self-conscious, he flipped his hand over and opened it, exposing his palm. There was another piece of 10-yen gum cupped there. The same kind as before. I'm not sure why I took it, but I did without even thinking. As soon as the exchange was made, he immediately turned toward the bathroom window, apparently prepping to make his escape. Wait, who are you and why me? My question seemed to stop him in his tracks. Aren't you gonna explain all this? I wasn't about to drop my guard, especially given the obvious advantage this boy had over me. But he didn't seem like he'd come to attack me or anything. Rather, it was almost like he was trying to lead me somewhere to show me the way. I can't answer that just yet. He turned his head toward me just enough so I could catch a brief glimpse of his eyes beyond his hood. They were ice blue in color and gentle and sincere. He smiled once more and leapt out the bathroom window. I was kind of dumbfounded. I had no idea how to process what just happened. What's wrong, Ayumi? Are you okay? Mom barged into the bath brandishing a broom. It was probably the first thing she could find, which was to fend off potential intruders. Too bad she hadn't just been a moment quicker. All I could do was squat on the cold bathroom floor and stare at her in the hollow eyes. There was no way to adequately explain any of this to her. It was late at night and still hadn't bothered changing out of my school uniform. I needed food, though I decided to hit up my convenience store on the way back home. I picked up a bottle of olives, a pack of tofu, some mineral water, and other various things to keep me going for a while. What the hell is this? I could barely believe it. There was actually an occult section of the damn mini-mart, with all kinds of stupid stuff like spirit talisman magnets and anti-demon wards. I grabbed one off the shelf from random and looked at the company logo on the backside. PL Promotions Company Incorporated. For these last 2 moments since we got back from Heavenly Host, it seemed like there was a real spiritual boom going on all over the world. Whenever there would be a strange death or something, the public would be all over it, downright excited about the possibility that it might be supernatural in nature. It was all over TV shows and magazines too, with independent researchers checking out spiritual hotspots and giving fancy new age advice to people just to boost ratings or sales. And now this exorcism merchandise next to prepackaged cupcakes and ready-made dinners. Get your talismans at the corner store now, huh? Not too long ago I'd have made fun of all this crap. Guess it's not such a laughing matter anymore though. Never thought I'd see the day when I pick up one of these things and wonder if it actually works. The item I was examining happened to be one of the spirit talisman magnets, seemingly the last one in stock. An old lady suddenly reached around me from behind and yanked it right out of my hands. She glowered at me for a moment before taking the prize over to the register. I just stood there staring blankly at her as she walked away. What the hell? Thank you very much. Alright, let's check these out. It's a withered bouquet of flowers. Oh yeah, I heard there was a serial killer who had recently done a middle school girl around here. These are probably left in memory of her or something. It's pretty messed up. Must have been emptied out. Alright, so I'm gonna assume we're gonna find that same thing. Oof, just a cat. Oh, I feel like an idiot now. It's late. Just want to go home, I think. Well, where's home, bro? Is this home? Shinozaki, what are you doing here this late? I thought you went home. I did. Sorry to accost you like this. Did you just get off work? Yeah, I had a late shift today. Wait, don't tell me you've been waiting for me here this whole time, have you? Man, I'm really sorry. No, it's fine. It was just actually a really chilly night. I could see Shinozaki's breath dissipating around her chin in short, frequent bursts. It's not fine at all. You're shivering. You can come in if you want. I'll get you some hot tea or something. Thanks. My room was on the second floor of the apartment building. I hadn't been expecting guests, so but I had tidied it up for my own sake a little while back, so it was fairly presentable. Shinozaki immediately sat down on my bed and began sipping tea I'd made for her. She was holding it in both hands, probably less for politeness and more just to warm them up. This is really good. Isn't it? It's from my sister. She sends it to me all the time. She says it's made from really good leaves. The sound of a large truck driving by seemed to catch her off guard. She was clearly a bit jittery, unsurprising, all things considered. They do construction at this hour? Yeah, when it gets close to the end of the year, they'll do all kinds of pointless work out there. Yeah, it's like this every night. I've been sleeping like crap because of it. That sounds really annoying. Time passed up at a snail's pace. Shinozaki continued to sip her tea, never once removing either hand from the warm cup. She definitely had something in her mind. Something had happened. It was written all over her face. Are you fighting with your parents or something? Don't worry about it. They know I'm here. They do? Yeah. Shinozaki was in my room. I dreamed about this before, but never thought it would actually happen. Oh, okay, but... I just kind of want to know, like, what you're doing here this late. Did something happen? You could say that. Seriously? You want to go back to Heavenly Host right now? I was half acting, as admittedly this wasn't entirely unexpected. Shinozaki may be a lot of things, but unpredictable is not among them. Please. So you came here to get the stone from me. I took out the ever after stone I'd stolen from Aiko. Come on, Shinozaki, think about it. Yeah, the stone's got all glowy, though they probably can't send you over, but what do you actually hope to accomplish once you get there? What if you get stuck again and can't get out? You'll die. And if you die over there, your existence will be erased over here. You'll be gone. I tried to be as strong and commanding as I could possibly muster. I needed her to realize what a bad idea this was. I don't care if I'm erased. I just want to save our friends. Save them. The Grimoire, the Book of Shadows, I know where it is. That book you were talking about earlier? Yeah, here, look. She had the thoughtograph thing from Aiko with her and was pointing to the little girl's left arm. It's been staring at us in the face the whole time. Look at her hand. That's the Book of Shadows. I didn't have to look very hard to see it, but... Okay, so she's carrying a book. Fine, but do you have any proof that that's the Book of Shadows? No, but I don't think it could be anything else. You don't think? We just have to go to Heavenly Host and get it back. Then we can save everyone's souls from Nirvana. We can finally resurrect Suzimoto and the others. How could I argue with that? There were so many assumptions being made, but she was so sure of herself, so certain that this would work. She wasn't about to listen to reason. Miyazaki shook her head furiously, like some sort of violent shudder. It almost seemed like she was trying to shake something loose from her mind. But can these rocks really actually take us to Heavenly Host? That girl Aikonila, was it? There was something just not quite right about her, don't you think? Well, we don't know until we test them now, will we? But if they do work, the souls of our friends are on the line, and I believe that we have a real chance of saving them. She still had deep scars on her arms and legs and neck. Anyone could tell at a glance she had just been recovered from a serious accident. She sounded so self-assured, so self-confident, but it was hard to take any of that seriously. This was the first time in my life I'd found myself tearing up over someone, and not being embarrassed that I was crying. Honestly, it surprised me even how deeply I cared about Shinozaki and how much I just didn't want to lose her. My eyes were getting hot and glazed, and I felt utterly helpless. I can't talk about this with anyone else, but you trust me, Kishinuma, don't you? I was at a complete loss for words. I found myself literally scratching my head, trying to come up with a good answer. This was Shinozaki, and she had come to me for moral support, for encouragement, for peace of mind. It really was the first time she'd ever truly relied on me, ever truly counted on me. I knew then what I had to do. Damn it, you know what we went through in that piece of shit school. There's no telling what might be waiting for us over there now. But if you're sure about this, we should do it. Honestly, I have no idea what the hell you're thinking, but I promise you one thing, and I intend to deliver on that. What one thing? That I protect you no matter what. Shinozaki and I stared into each other's eyes for a moment, each of us trying to figure the other out. Don't worry, everything will be okay. I tried to force a smile. Shinozaki had basically curled into a ball at this point, her tiny body collapsing on itself for support. But now all of a sudden she unfurled herself and glared at me. I couldn't tell if she was mad or happy or what. Her eyes were either like daggers or saucers. I couldn't really make out which. Maybe she'd come here expecting me to actively shoot down her ideas or something. Maybe she thought she'd go alone on this. Maybe she'd figure out what I was up to. Or maybe she'd expect me to say exactly what I said to her, and maybe it annoyed her. Either way, tears began to explode from her eyes so quickly that red bags were forming under them almost instantly. She then turned her back to me with a seemingly unconscious spin of her body. Shinozaki, are you okay? Well, during the day, you remember when you patted my head? She seemed like she was trying her hardest not to let herself cry, though it wasn't exactly working. Oh, I did? Yeah, you don't remember? She paused seemingly away from me to answer, but I had no idea what to say and absolutely didn't want to say the wrong thing, so I just stood there like a dolt. Never mind then, if you don't remember, that's fine. Finally, she turned back to face me, her tears almost dry. Still a little self-conscious about crying, though. She kept her eyes closed, the telltale frown belying her confidence. Well, there was obviously something between the lines for me to read there, but hell if I knew what it was. Here, let me see your stone. Okay. Shinozaki removed the Ever After stone from her pocket and placed it squarely in my hand. I positioned it next to the stone and stared intently at the two. This was the turning point. What I did next decided our fates. I couldn't mess this up. Outside my window, I could still hear the sound of construction vehicles driving by. It was now or never. And as close to the solid motion as I could manage, I opened my window and chucked the two stones out on the road. Oh, damn. I timed it perfectly and my aim couldn't have been any better. Another truck would have just passed it by, but the stones were immediately in its path. The sound I heard next was satisfying crunch. It was the sound of delicate glass like rocks being broken into tiny pieces. Shinozaki had rushed over to the window and directly witnessed the fate of the Ever After stones. As soon as the truck drove over them, she collapsed to her knees. Oh, damn. Like I said, I'll protect you no matter what I have to do. I couldn't even finish my sentence before Shinozaki's palm slammed my face with incredible force. The loud smack of flesh on flesh echoed through my room. The side of my face was immediately in pain. I began rubbing it with my hand as I looked at Shinozaki's eyes. Her face was filled with tears and her nose was running. She was breathing so heavily her shoulders were bobbing up and down. I should have never trusted you. Shinozaki, listen, I was wrong to believe you'd help me. I should have known better. He was absolutely hysterical with rage. You think I'd just stand by and let you go back there? Back there? It was my turn to fire back now. I was certain I'd done the right thing. How do you even know for sure that the book is there? And how did you intend to get the book back from the girl once you were there? Going over there without a plan would be certain death. I hate you, you're an asshole, delinquent, a worthless piece of shit. Leaving me with those hurtful words, Shinozaki then pushed me past and ran out of the room crying like a child the whole way. I stood back up again, rubbing my cheek where I had been slapped. A worthless piece of shit. Ow. Please, please, God, where are they? Found them. They're okay. But they were run over by a truck. Why would that matter? Those aren't just any old stones. You. The method is in your grasp now, arrested from the opposition. Now it's time to indulge in what you want, to push forward and put that method to the test. You can make the jump now, you're so much more than those filthy peasants. You can surpass them, you can interject your own will into the fabric of this world. Are you on my side then? Shinozaki. Yoshinuma. I'm miles ahead of this trash. Ah, who the hell? It's the guy I passed in front of Shinozaki's place. They're still intact, damn it. Shinozaki, give him to me.
Yeah.
No. This has to stop. You can't go over there. How many times do you think you can cheat death before death wins? Hand them over, damn it. Oh. Bad dog. You asked if I was on your side. I am. I'm your guardian. I was Hino's, your sister's protege. I owe a lot to her. My name is Mitsuto Kirai of the Irregular Society. You were my sister's good girl. You remember the chant to unlock the powers, don't you? Then let's get started. Let me see those stones. Hold on tight to me, and here, a good luck charm, don't lose it. Obtain Masuto's charm, the Argus Cube. Shinozaki, don't go. I'm sorry, you don't need to worry about me anymore. You should live the life of a peasant, it's only fitting. Stop. Nirvana, I summon the dead. This can't be happening. Damn it, why? God damn it. Where am I? This stench, this heaviness. We're back. It's Heavenly Host. Masuto, where are you? The Ever After Stones. Oh man, they're gone. What do I do now? Masuto must still have them. But without them, without those stones, I can't get back. Oh dude. I'm all alone in this school again. You dummy. No, I can't start panicking. He's here somewhere. I'll find him. This is just how it happened the last time, too. Ooh, hey. Like a pomegranate. Head so full of juice. Welcome. You did this to yourself, girlfriend. The horrible things written on the blackboard are glowing so brightly they almost seem to be backlit. Even with Sachiko gone, the malice remains. There are large quantities of long black hair stuffed into the cabinet. Heavenly Host Elementary. Notice all the faculty and students. Due to the recent kidnappings, caution is highly recommended during daily activities. In each instance, the victim was taken quickly and unexpectedly, so please remain alert and aware at all times. Principal Takemura. It wasn't this dark last time. Uh-oh. Hey, there's a clock. There wasn't a clock like that in here last time either. I guess things really are different now. I hope Soto hasn't gone too far. I don't even know his phone number. Actually, I should leave a message for him. Masuto, it's Amy. Please call me. Good enough, I think. Now let's see if I can find him anywhere. Let's do this. Alright, let's see what kind of shenanigans we can get ourselves into. There's a murky yellow liquid inside the bucket, filling the hall with absolutely noxious odor. This is really disgusting. Not that anything in here isn't, though. Alright, we got batteries. Oh no. Oh Jesus! Heavenly Host is falling apart more than ever before. As a result, there are numerous hazards to watch out for, and broken glass to splinters. Stepping on one will lower your HP. Depending on the hazard encountered, only the currently selected player character can get hurt, or the entire party may take damage. HP can be recovered through the bandages. Okay, well, that's good to know. Oh Jesus! Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Okay. Something on the floor here. Alright, we got bandage. Hey, buddy. Dead body. Before me were the skeletal remains of a human being sprawled out unceremoniously on the ground. This is definitely Heavenly Host. This person, I have no idea who he is, but somehow I feel like I've met him before. The name tag rests beside the corpse. Look at Tiny. High class 2C. Oh, Isha, go to. Decapitation by wire while searching for a friend. Well then. Okay. So we must avoid that stuff now. Alright, what's up with this clock? The clock's pendulum seems to have stopped at an angle. This clock wasn't here the last time, was it? Okay. Misuto? Rain. It was a rainy evening after school, just like this one. That has to be a person. Not the person you're looking for, baby girl. The door is affixed to the wall like a model. It shows no indication that it was ever meant to be opened. Alright, I think maybe we can grab this? No? Is that a bug? That's a bug. Okay. There should be something I can use to cross this hole. No. I wonder if there's anything I can use to cross this hole. Bro, it's right here. Get it. Alright. Maybe one of these? Alright, let's go in here. Maybe there's something in here. I feel like this desk could help me cross. Gonna be something weird like this little thing. Like, really any one of these desks could help you out. Alright, horrible things written. Feel like this is trolling me. Okay, doors are fixed like a model. Like this right here. In the other game, it was like literally a little pellet. Actually didn't even look like a pallet. Alright, this has to be a board. Nope, that's not a board. Oh, this right here. Ooh. Alright, it's a loose floorboard, still very much intact and entirely solid. It should be strong enough to support the weight of even a full-grown adult. This might come in handy, huh? Alright. Loosey-goosey, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, let's use the board. Okay. Literally. Should be able to cross now. Alright, we're gonna have to fix that. Alright. Should be able to use that on the controller now. Oh, don't fall for it, girlfriend. Don't fall for it. Nothing good is in this school, bro. Doors fixed to the wall. Ah! It didn't really scare me, by the way. Shit. Oh, dude. That's Mayu, bro. Suzimoto? It's me, Ayumi. I've come here to find you. Oh, her face is gone. Shig. Shit. Oh, hell. The door is fixed. Okay, what is this? What is this? Like a spell symbol. That's not encouraging. Ah, I could probably lose her if I hide in here. You can hide in lockers to avoid harmful entities. However, if you're spotted by the entity while you're trying to hide, it can very easily pull you out. When an entity is near your hiding place, a red circle will be displayed to indicate danger. As it moves further and further away, the circle will turn green and eventually go away completely if and when the coast is clear. You better not find me. I'd be so mad. Alright, I think blue means good, right? Confirm button to exit your hiding place, but beware, if there are any entities inside, you'll be immediately chased by them, so make sure you time your exit well. Okay. At least I was able to get away. I have to hurry and find Masuta, though. Alright, so we can't step on that glass. Door fixed to the wall. There's no use in hiding, you're always being watched. Okay. Need to avoid that stuff. Oh my gosh, I don't like the camera. Oh! What? Okay. Go! Alright, keep going. Yes, I know. Oh my god. This is so stupidly terrifying. Oh, that's where you died. That's where you're supposed to be. There's still a massive blood stain here. My Susimoto's remains are no longer present. Oh, shite. Okay. Dude. It's so cute and terrifying. What the hell? Yuki! Yuki, help me! Dude, didn't you just learn your lesson? My chin smashed against the floor and the wind was completely knocked out of me. My entire field of vision turned wide as if I had been drenched in some unholy phosphorescence? Ugh. Oh, hell. Oh, hell. Then everything went black. Various indistinct forms blurred together in front of my eyes, and all of a sudden it felt as if if not my body, but my mind had been shattered into pieces. What? To be continued. Alright, that was interesting. I'm kind of curious to see where it goes next. EVP entries for Yoshi Shinozaki have been unlocked. Encyclopedia Skura entries have been unlocked. Yuki Kano, Miki Kishinuma, Ever After Stone, Seiji Shinozaki, Hino Shinozaki, Blowback, Closed Spaces, Tokiko Tsuzuki, Heavenly Host, Elementary Nirvana, Raising of Corpses, Land of Corpses, Spirit Items. I would love to save this data, baby. Alright. So, I guess right there is where we're going to cut it off, but let's see what we got on the bonus. Gallery of Spirits. Okay. That was a good one. No, not that one. How the hell do I go back? There we go. EVP machine. What do we got here? Do I have anything? I'm just gonna use the mouse for this.
Ayumi-chan, 生きるのよ。
Okay, so yeah, we already heard that. That's fine. All right, well, right there is where we're gonna cut it off. Wait, what is this? Sort of the wicked is... Okay, so that's just... Okay, I got you. So it's just basically telling me all this stuff. All right. Yes, so anyways, right there is where we're going to cut it off. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like. And if you want to take this journey with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it's going to get good, baby. I'll catch you on the next. Peace.